start obeying the Constitution. It's going to get real ugly if you don't follow the laws and obey the Constitution like you swore an oath to do. But the president came out just yesterday, okay, and he says, I'm going to pick and choose which federal employees that I give back pay to. Okay, so once again, he is indicating that he's going to violate the law and do something that's unconstitutional and despicably, not treat people fairly like we should in this country, okay, but decide, pick and choose whether he's going to give back pay to the federal employees that he likes. The president, his job is to serve this country, not treat the U.S. Treasury like his private piggy bank. That's the American people's money. How dare you go out there and say, I'm going to give back pay to the people that I like and not for the people that I don't like. We are in a dangerous spot in this country when the president thinks that he can just, ignore laws that are written in plain English. That law that you must give back pay to federal employees, okay, that is written in plain English, and he's just telling the American people that he's going to ignore it, okay? Nobody, I don't care who you are, I don't care what side of the aisle on, it doesn't matter. You got a Constitution, you got to faithfully execute the Constitution, and he's ignoring it. And so both parties and every American should be furious with the threats that this president is making to federal employees in this country. Okay? So Congress, do your damn job. Yeah. Do your damn job and pass a budget. That's going to require a little compromise. Yeah. It's not a one-sided thing. If you don't have a bill, you haven't done your job. Yeah. So do your job. And this president, you better start obeying the Constitution. You better do your job. And this president, you better start obeying the Constitution.
It's like, I don't know why the fuck this is. Like, Shalom. Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Harakakudash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone and rule well, and peace and citations to the elect of the true nation of Israel, Yasharallah. Back at you again with another lesson, man. It's late. Yeah, man, Trump, he's threatening he's not going to pay these federal workers, man. All right, no back pay. He's going to furlough them or, make these federal workers, all right, come in for work and not pay them, all right, because of the government shutdown, which is unconstitutional, man. All right. And Trump is doing other things that's unconstitutional, man. All right, doing what he's doing in Chicago and Portland and Texas and California. All right, coming down upon our people, deporting people that are U.S. citizens. Okay. Sending Texas troops, all right, to Chicago, or it was Texas National Guard to Chicago. All right. He just erased or passed the law to do away with freedom of speech, which is something that he was against, or he was against doing away with freedom of speech. He was for freedom of speech. Now he's against it. Now he's getting rid of it, because for the sake, his excuse is because of the people burning down the American flag, which is the right of basically freedom of expression, freedom of speech, and he's passing laws and legislation and decrees to do away with freedom of speech, which, hey man, Trump is he's doing the opposite of what he wanted to do or said he was going to do since 2017, 2016 when he first came into office, man. Okay. He's doing the total opposite of what he said he was going to be doing. All right. His second term is totally different than what he was doing during his first term. All right. And he became a different president. He started acting different. All right. When it comes to the laws that he's passing, and the commands that he's commanding ever since he got a bullet grazed by his face. You know, the so-called assassination attempt of Trump, man. You know, he's been acting different. You know, which us brothers of Great Millstone, us men of Yahweh Shem Yahshua, I believe that was the elites, right, warning him or keeping him in a line. You know, at the same time, starting an agenda to cause conflict between the right and the left, the liberal and the right. You know, Jake versus Esau. You know, Slovakia. But yeah, but the elites, you know, us men of Yahweh Shem Yahshua, I believe that the elites, they purposely missed Trump's face. You know, they purposely missed that shot. You know, all right, to keep him scared. You know, and to push an agenda, but ultimately to keep him in line and do what the elites want him to do, which is, you know, do what he's doing right now. You know, going against the Constitution, trying to do away with freedom of speech. All right, being pro-Israel, you know, backing up Israel, you know. What else? And sending troops upon the United States citizens. All right, being more of a cruel lord than he was. You know, a cruel king. All right, not lord, but this is what precept do I want to get, man. You know. But yeah, Trump he's doing opposite of what he was all about before he became president the second time. Slovakia. As Isaiah 19:4 says, and the Egyptians will I give into the hand of a cruel lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord of hosts. Okay, Lord of armies, because that's what that word host goes into armies. All right, because the Lord is mustering the battle. He's mustering these nations and these people and the heathens to go to World War III. Okay, he's causing conflict even within these nations. Okay, there's riots in almost every part of the world right now, man. All right. So New Zealand, all right, is they did, their parliament, all right, is against themselves, against each other, man. Okay, they're doing the haka dance again, in parliament, and they shut that shit down. They're like, hey, y'all promised y'all wouldn't do that again, so we're shutting this shit down, man. How do you say? You know how those New Zealanders, those native New Zealanders, the dance that they do, they look crazy, when they don't get their way and whatnot. But yeah, that's just one example. Just riots in Italy, all over the place, man. America, Europe, all over Europe, So yeah, man. But the focus is on America right now, But yeah, the Lord is putting the spirit upon Trump to be a cruel lord, to be going against the Constitution, man. Okay, to push an agenda, to push, a civil war in America, because the elites want him to, and Yahweh Shem Yahshua wants him to too. All right, the Lord wants the Egyptians to be given into a cruel lord. Talking about Trump is being that cruel lord, that fierce king. All right. This is Isaiah 19:2, talking about the civil war here in America that's coming, that's starting, that's brewing up. Okay. It says, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. All right, so the right and the left are against each other. All right, the black and the white, all right, are against each other. The Mexican and the white, all right, people are against each other here in America, man. Okay. And Yahweh Shem Yahshua is making that happen. He's putting the spirit upon Trump and these people to pass these unjust laws, man. You know, going against their own constitution. All right, he's stirring up that warlike Edomite spirit upon these Edomites, these so-called white people. Okay. All right. Because civil war is biblical, and I just read the scripture. All right, Egyptian against Egyptian, man, which is infighting in America, which is a civil war. And the Bible's talking about it right here, because it's not talking about the old Egyptians. What's the new Egypt? The new Egypt is America. Okay, if you want to believe that or not. Who cares if you don't, you know? Because this message that we preach is to those that do believe. All right? All right, if you don't believe, go kick rocks. All right? Go cry a river. All right? Because when it says Egyptian against Egyptian, it's talking about American against American. Okay? Because America is spiritual Sodom in Egypt. When something is spiritual, okay, it's not literal. It's spiritual. It's metaphoric. All right, sometimes, in a sense. Ecclesiasticus, or the book of Sirach 41:7. The children will complain of an ungodly father because they shall be reproached for his sake. And that's talking about, these Americans. All right. It could go for these other countries too, but specifically the eyes of the Lord are on that wicked city, the sinful city, which is talking about America. All right. So, right, in this case, the children of America, the people of America are pissed off. They're complaining. You heard the man crying, not literally, but crying out with his words, about how Trump is breaking the Constitution. He's not paying. He's not going to be paying these federal workers, when you're supposed to. And Trump is like, forget them. We're not going to pay y'all. When the government and these elites have plenty of money to be paying these people, man. Sirach 10:2 says, as the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. In what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. Okay, Trump has gone mad. All right, he's following after the ways of the elite. The elite are making him be that cruel lord, and Yahweh Shem Yahshua is making Trump be that cruel lord over America, that fierce king. All right. So in that case, the American people are going to be fierce and cruel towards each other because of, Americans. Not every American believes the same thing. All right. So they're going to be cruel and fierce towards each other all the way to a civil war. All right. The Lord has to destroy America somehow. All right. In part he's going to partly do it by way of civil war. Matthew 12:26, it says, and if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? Okay. This is talking about these Edomites, man, which are the seed of Satan. All right. The man of sin, the man of perdition. Okay. The so-called white man. They're against each other, man. Okay, one believes in Trump, one doesn't believe in Trump. One is pro-Israel, one is pro-Palestine. One is neutral, one is not neutral. One is for the Constitution, one is just following orders. All these types of Edomites are going against each other, man. So therefore, America's gonna fall, because that kingdom that it's talking about is talking about America, which is a kingdom. No, it's a country. It's a kingdom. Shut up. Okay. So America is gonna fall, man. This system is gonna fall. All right. And the Lord is systematically putting the spirit upon these people to make this kingdom fall. All right. To be against each other. The Lord says, think not that I am come for peace upon earth. I come to cause division, divide. All right, because the Lord is dividing everybody, every nation against themselves. All right, Jake against Jake, Edomite against Edomite, heathen against heathen. All right, pro Palestine, pro Israel. Pro Trump, left wing, liberal versus conservative, black versus white. Mexican versus ICE agents. All right, Christian versus Hebrew Israelite. Muslim, Islam versus Judaism. The Lord is making this happen. All right, the Lord is taking the peace away from this world and causing division. All right, because the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, wants to destroy this rulership, this kingdom, this wicked kingdom. All right. So the Lord has to destroy it. He has to take it down. All right. He has to dismantle it. And that's what's going on. What you're seeing around the world is the dismantling of this wicked kingdom ruled by the so-called white man, Esau, Edom. Okay. And it's eventually going to be taken down by nuclear missiles. All right. I can end it off right there. This is what I want. Oh no, this is for another lesson. So yeah, I hope this is edifying to the elect. Here's James 1:8. It says a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways, man. All right, and Trump, he's acting like a double-minded man. Okay, he's not doing what he said he was doing, what he was gonna do, before he took office again. All right, and before he was in office, he's a different Trump, different spirit. He's against the Constitution. He was all for freedom of speech. Now he's doing away with it, man. So yeah, man. And there's plenty of TikToks and videos on the internet, okay, of Trump doing things